Hey guys, how's it going? It's Python. Welcome back to another Haikyu Fly High video. Today I wanted to talk a bit more about the recruits, about summoning on the game, because I talked about how bad the rates were when you're trying to reroll on my first video, and I kind of want to make a follow-up on that, talking a bit more about how the rates improve and how the pity kind of works in this game, and the sort of the positives and the negatives of that. And I guess one of the positives being the fact that you cannot waste resources when it comes to summoning. And I mean, it's something that people should know, and I should know, but I'm a bit impatient, to be honest with you, and I didn't actually know how the gacha fully worked when I was re-rolling, so I thought it was the same as other games, but it's quite different in this game, to be honest with you, compared to other gacha games. So we'll go over that in a moment. As I said, it's got its own positives and negatives, and I guess the positive thing is that you cannot waste resources because the pity system carries over from banner to banner. So in the next UR banner, the pity system that you got from Ushiwaka, so if you didn't pull Ushiwaka, the pity is going to carry over to the other UR character, whoever that may be in the future. Same thing goes to the select recruit for the select recruit banner for the next batch of characters that are going to be added to the select recruit in 7 days. Once this one is over, I need to move myself over to the other side real quick, just because I want to show you how the pity works on the pull info. So let's start off with the superior recruit. I actually pulled on this banner. Do not pull on this banner. Do not pull on this banner. This is the main thing. Don't do it. The chances of you getting the character you want are extremely low, and it's just absolutely not worth it. Just wait for the select recruit. Once this is over, there's going to be another batch of 3. If your character that you want is not there, it's going to stink, but you're just going to have to wait for the other one whenever it resets again. So let's start off with the superior recruit, because the other banners work similarly. So if I go to the excuse me, if I go to the pull info, it says if no SSR player. So essentially, the rates to get an SSR is 1%. You have a 1% chance to get an SSR. That's horrible. That's so bad. So it says here that if no SSR player is obtained within 60 recruits, the SSR drop rate will gradually increase starting from the 61st by 0.5%, reaching 10% in the 79th until an SSR player is recruited. And if you haven't got it within 79, the 80th will be guaranteed an SSR character. Pretty straightforward, right? You do 60 with 1% chance, then it goes up slowly. And I'm actually gonna pull up a website here that should help with that. So I will leave a link to it down below. It's in Japanese. I just auto translated it. It essentially just tells you everything that the banner does, but it's got this nice little graph here at the bottom that just visualizes how it's gonna work, how the percentage works. So essentially, after 60 pulls, your chances go up all the way up to 10.5 on the 80th, where you are guaranteed to get the SSR, one SSR character. But of course, there's just so many, right? So the chance of you getting the one that you actually want is pretty low, right? Because it's so many of them. So here's where the select recruit comes in play, because it essentially does the same thing as the superior recruit, but you can pick the character that you want. For this one, I would say Nishinoya. I just have Nishinoya. That's why I've switched to Kageyama. But as you can see here, it says that I get a guarantee in 77 pulls. Obviously, the rates work the same as they do for the standard, the superior recruit. If you haven't pulled one in 60, and let me show you that if you haven't pulled one in 60, starting from the 61st, the chances for you go up all the way up to the 79th, and it works the same as the standard one does. where in the 80th recruit you are definitely guaranteed to get an SSR. However, because the text here on the screen makes it a bit weird, the first time you are not guaranteed to get the one that you've selected. Yes, you have a higher chance, you have a 50% chance, but it's still not guaranteed to be the one that you've selected. There's still a 50% chance of it being somebody that you have not. However, in the next 80, if I go back to the pool info and I show you, there we go. If the player does not recruit their wishlist player for 159, the 160th is definitely guaranteed to be the wishlist player, which is really, really nice. And again, this carries over to the other wish list. Whenever the new wish list comes out, it's guaranteed. Now, how can you keep up with this? How do you know it's the first 80 and not the second 80? Well, you can check the recruit history over here, and it will show you my 47th was Nishinoya that I got. So now it resets. So the 107th would be where the rates go up. So the 107th up until the 107th pool, 107th multi, I would have a 1% chance to get an SSR character. However, then it would go up from the 108th all the way up to the 126th, and then on the 127th, once 80 pulls have been done, and I still haven't got it, I am guaranteed to get it. The character that I actually, well, not the character that I actually want, just one SSR character, and then I would have to do another 80 on top of the 127 and go all the way to 207 to guarantee the one that I actually want. So, if I don't get it within the time that he's available, it carries over to the next one. And that's the thing. Of course, the rates reset each time you get an SSR, right? So if you're on the 65th multi and you have happen to get it on like a higher percentage, it will reset back to 1. Yeah, that's the thing. Of course, the cumulative rewards don't actually carry over. So that's the thing that you have to keep in mind. These reset for the next banner, but the rates don't. And that actually comes in real handy in the UR banners. Because the rates for the UR are horrible. 0.1% chance to get a UR is still a 1% chance to get an SSR or UR technically, but only a 0.1% chance to get a UR. It's absolutely brutal, it's absolutely horrible, and I kind of want to show you the graph real quick for it on the website. But first of all, let's go over the rates and how they work. First of all, this also has the same SSR guarantee. So if no SSR is obtained within 60, the SSR player drop rate will increase from the 61st up until the 79th with a 10% chance to get the SSR player. Guaranteed in the 80th. So you are guaranteed within 80 pulls to get an SSR if you haven't pulled one in the first 80. However, when the UR banner resets, the SSR rate doesn't carry over. The UR rate, the UR pity carries over, but the SSR rate doesn't carry over on the next UR banner. So that's the thing to keep in mind. Let's go over the UR rates and the most important thing. So essentially for the first 80, if no UR is obtained within 80, the drop rate will gradually increase. So for the first 80 multis, you have a 0.1% chance to get the character that you want. That is horrible. That is so bad. And I mean, I got lucky on the reroll, right, that I got him. But you're most likely never gonna do this. However, if no UR player is obtained, the drop rate will gradually increase by 0.22 up until the 139th, reaching a 13.8% chance until a UR player is recruited. So it will reset once you get a UR player. Of course, if you haven't pulled one within 179, it is guaranteed. Right? There we go. The 140th is guaranteed to be a UR. So if you summon for Ushiwaka and you don't get him within 140, it's completely fine, because the next UR character, that same pity is gonna carry over to the next character. So let's say you do 80 multis, you don't get him, your rate starts to go up, you do 90, you still don't get him, it resets to the next character, now you are at 90 and you have a higher percent chance, and you're gonna guarantee to get the other character within 140, within the next within the starting 50, I guess you could say, for the next banner. Of course, the rewards over here, they do reset, the cumulative rewards, which again kind of sucks, but it makes sense for it to reset. So yeah, that kind of just guarantees that you're gonna get UR characters, right? That's the good thing about it, is that because it carries over, you are guaranteed to get a UR character eventually. Might not be this one, might not be the next one, but you're guaranteed to get one in due time. I would say for sure go for URs. Do not spend any gems on SSR characters. Absolutely not. Like, don't do it. It's not worth it. All your gems should go towards UR tickets for sure, or SP tickets whenever they drop in the future, which is just essentially just a glorified UR. And I didn't actually show you the rates, so let me just show you the graph here, because it's nice, and it just tells you, and also, as I said, if you have not obtained an SSR character, the probability of the SSR also goes up. However, that the fixed count for the SSRs does not continue. So if you don't get the SSRs, the pity for the SSRs on the UR banner doesn't carry over. So it's tough, as I said before at the beginning. It's really tough. Of course, you can check here. I got Oshijima on the fifth pull, because I rerolled for him. So now I'm the 25th, so I still have a 0.1% chance of pulling him again, right, up until the 85th. And then on the 86th, it will start going up for me. Now, one thing I will say, though, is if you are high on the pity, go one ticket at a time. If you are on the 90th, maybe even 85 or something, just go one ticket at a time, right? Don't go 10 tickets at a time. That's what I would suggest. Just go one ticket at a time. And again, as I said, like, this is the good part about it, is that you're guaranteed to get a UR, but the bad thing is, like, there is kind of no gamble aspect to it. There's no like, you're essentially never gonna get him within the first 80, and that sucks. You're never gonna get a UR within the first 80. So it's like the first 80 is just there as fuel for you to actually get to the chance of being lucky, of getting lucky, because the rates are just horrible to begin with. Again, but the fact that it continues from banner to banner kind of balances itself out. So it just feels a bit like the game is just giving you like a fixed amount of URs, right? Like, you cannot get lucky and get all of them, right? Because if you do a multi on each banner, right, sometimes you can just get lucky and get like 3 UR characters back to back to back. If the rates were normal, like another game, like a, I don't know, like a 3% chance or 4% chance, you might just get lucky and do it. But with 0.1, it's never gonna happen. So it's always tough in that regard. Hopefully you I made it clear and you understand how the how this works. Of course, if you didn't and you were a bit impatient like I was and rerolled without knowing this information, so again, it makes you feel a bit less discouraged for not pulling well on the reroll. But it's a bit tough because I really enjoy rerolling. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one of my I'm too addicted to it. So whenever a new game comes out, I really want to reroll, but this game does not really reward that very well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.